I've got a couple of measuring tools out here on the table. The Rotomatic has tactile lines on the very top. Space between each one of these tactile lines is 1/2 of an inch. Along the side of the tool, we've got markings every 1/16 of an inch. Probably the most accurate measuring tool in the shop. Due to this fence rotates around the threaded rod. Back behind the fence, we have a locking nut. It prevents this fence from rotating in a circle so that we can count up our measurement. The second measuring tool I'm going to show you is called the Click Rule. Top of this aluminum tube, we have a knob. We loosen the knob, and then we can push the threaded rod outside of the tube. And again, we're finding these tactile measurements along the top of the tool, every 1/2 of an inch. And then we've got the same 1/16 of an inch tactile markings on the side of the tool. Each one of those individual clicks is 1/16 of an inch. How do we measure with both of these tools? Well, I'll show you. Both the tape measure and the ruler side by side. I'm guessing that a lot of people would think that this board was 19 3/8 of an inch long. The Click Rule is a tactile tool that we can just use our sense of touch. So if I set this tool up on the board, and I put the fence along one edge, and I push the information rod in, and then I use my finger to line up the left side of the tool with the end of the board, I'll count it up. This extension piece is 12 inches. The distance from the fence to the hook on the end of the board on the right side is 6 inches. So I add 6 plus 12 is 18. Now I'm going to count up these tactile lines. So I'm starting my counting at 18. This first tactile line is 18.5. The second one is 19. And then I'm going to count the 16ths and count 6 with my fingernail. 6/16 we can convert down to 3/8. So 19 3/8, which is very similar to what we saw on the tape measure and the ruler. And pick up this Rotomatic. I already have this Rotomatic adjusted to get much more precise measurements with the Rotomatic. I've got the fence butted up against the right side of the wood, and then we follow it to the other side, and you'll see that this is perfectly flush. If I use my thumb and I brush it up and down along the edge of the board and the end of that tool, those two surfaces, those two flat surfaces are completely flush. So we've rotated this fence 3/4 of a turn, the same as 3/64 of an inch. So if we add 3/64 to 19 3/8, we're left with 19 27/64. This demonstration was just to show people this can be done non-visually with the right training and the right tools, measured just as accurately as anybody else.